Clickbait much? One asks. Pauline Hanson suggests Port Arthur massacre was a government conspiracy. Wow. That's big news, isn't it? Oh, well. One nation leader tells Al Jazeera reporter, who didn't say he was a reporter, that there are a lot of questions about the 1996 attack. So does that make her a conspiracy theorist? Interesting. Pauline Hanson has implied that the 1996 Port Arthur massacre was a government. How has she implied that? It seems like the paper here has implied that. She's just saying there's some questions. That's got nothing to do with a conspiracy. Talk about taken out of context. The second part of Al Jazeera's undercover operation also reveals senior One Nation figures discussing how Australia's strict gun laws would need to be watered down over time, and being advised by the US gun lobby to exploit stories about so-called African gangs to make the case for gun ownership. Wow, is that what they're going to use? That's crazy. A One Nation state leader is also shown discussing donations with representatives of the multinational energy giant Koch Industries and telling them that with more funding the party could change the voting system in Australia. Wow, we wouldn't want that because it's so fucking good right now. It's so legit. Hanson slammed the documentary as a political attack by Al Jazeera and the ABC on Thursday afternoon, claiming she and her colleagues were the victims of selective editing and entrapment, and calling for broadcasts of the second half of the documentary to be stopped. Wow, it's more censorship. It's getting crazy, isn't it? Hidden camera footage released. Really, hidden camera footage. That is entrapment. Released as part of a documentary that also revealed One Nation had sought a $20 million US donation from the US gun lobby, showed Hanson saying she had a lot of questions about Port Arthur, as many people do, if the media would care to have a look. But apparently not. An MP said it would actually take a massacre in Tasmania to change the gun laws in Australia, Hanson told the Al Jazeera undercover reporter Roger Muller. So where's the conspiracy in that? That was a fact. You can go and look it up yourselves. Why don't you go and find it and put it up in your article? Haven't you heard that? Have a look at it, she says. It was said on the floor of Parliament. I've read a lot and I've read the book on it, Port Arthur. A lot of questions there. So she hasn't said anything that's conspiratorial. The only people creating conspiracy here are these article writers. If you want to look into that, talk about conspiracy theorists. Reading into shit. So on Thursday, Scott Morrison made a concession to that pressure, announcing the Liberal Party would place One Nation below the Labor Party on its how to vote cards. Okay. Wow. The linkages to Port Arthur, I'm sure all Australians would be shocked about. Really? I don't think so. There's a lot of people that are questioning it still. So for you guys to try and put it under the rug like it's something that's never been heard before is just, you guys are dreaming or you're lying. I was shocked by them. And really, you were shocked by them. You'd never heard them before in your 20 years since it happened. Wow, you're tripping, mate. These gun laws have kept Australia safe for 20 years. Really? How safe? Everybody, there's how many gunshot incidents every fucking year, and you reckon the only people who have got the guns now are the bad guys. So, yeah, bullshit. Anyway, I was shocked by them, and now, you know, these gun laws have kept Australia safe for 20 years and led the world, really. And it's one of the Liberal Party's most proud achievements, really. What about, I think your proudest achievement would be when John Howard came in for bat for George Pell. That's a big moment for you Liberal Party people. Wow. And then it comes to this issue. We cannot allow it to be compromised or sliced away. Wow. Getting all defensive. In new footage to be broadcast on the ABC. Oh, wow, our old friend ABC. On Thursday evening, Queensland One Nation leader Steve Dixon and Hanson's Chief of Staff James Ashby are seen meeting with senior figures from the National Rifle Association to discuss their public relations strategy. Where's the footage of all those other people in the other political parties all dancing with the Chinese and doing all that sort of crap? Where's that big article? See, this is just barrel scraping rubbish to distract you from the fact that everything they do is fucking lies. Yeah, anyway. Ashby later describes a strategy akin to giving someone a taste for Vegemite. Yeah, if you fucking shove their face in it hard enough, they've got no choice but to lick. That's what I'd write. Later in the documentary, Hanson says she didn't think it would be politically smart to join Ashby and Dixon on the US trip because of how the issue would be used against her, which it would have been. I have to get more people elected to the parliament, which I will after this federal election. See, they're running scared, these other parties, because the horse is about to be broken. But don't worry, she's in too. They're all in on it. It's just a big game, people. I'm at the point I just can't even be bothered reading this shit anymore. What's the point? Anyway, so I have to get more people elected, she said. The NRA officials also advised the men about emulating their media strategy to make the case for gun ownership, including ghostwriting articles in newspapers and capitalising on crime stories. Yeah, wow. So you're getting all defensive about this, but you're happy to have people silenced if they question vaccines even. This is just garbage, absolute garbage. And then we got, the NRA official tells the men every time there's a story there about African gangs coming in with baseball bats, a little thing you put out there may be the top of a tweet or a Facebook post. So we're letting all this stuff get through your feed. But when I go and question something, what do? You remove my posts. Unbelievable. So talk about stirring the pot and making you guys are the soup. You do realise that. What you can do to help us, it's going to get down to money at the end of the day, Dixon is filmed saying. Yeah, well, that wouldn't be a lie, would it? We can change the voting system in our country, the way people operate, if we've got the money to do it. We've got the people, we've got the momentum, we've got Senator Pauline Hanson. The ingredients are there. We just don't have the petrol to put in the engine or the ingredients to put in the soup. The meetings took place before the federal parliament voted to ban foreign political donations. Oh, perfect. There is no evidence. Yeah, wow, that's after all your Chinese hoo-ha and all your backdoor deals there with them. And remember, even it gets down to a local level, even the local council. John, what's his name, Robert Doyle. He was taking it from the Chinese as well. They're all doing it. So everybody's just trying to cover their own asses. She said her comments about Port Arthur had been heavily edited, which sounds like they would have been, and they've been taken out of context because the guy's filming them in an entrapping way. So, yeah, tell me it hasn't been misconstrued. But either way, she's not off point, is she? If you do a bit of research, we can't all believe Wali Ali for all our truth, as you know. I can't be bothered reading the rest. You can read it. What's the title of it? More bullshit. Pauline Hanson suggests Port Arthur massacre was a government conspiracy. The Guardian, so reliable, wouldn't trust them with your children, let alone anything else. Take care. See you soon.